If you're a Tottenham fan, you don't just watch football, you survive it. Welcome to the only club in the world that can make a 3-0 lead at halftime feel like a looming natural disaster. Being a Spurs fan is like being in a relationship with a magician who only knows one trick, making your hope disappear in the 94th minute. We've all heard the term Spursy. It's entered the dictionary. It's a vibe, it's a lifestyle, and frankly, it's a medical condition. But is it just bad luck? Or are we looking at a legitimate high definition 4K resolution curse that would make a haunted burial ground look like a Disney resort? Today we're diving into the history, the heartbreak, and the hilarity of the curse that follows Tottenham. Fact 1. The 1961 time capsule. Let's start at the beginning or the end depending on how much you like crying. To understand the curse, you have to go back to 1961. This was the year Spurs won the double. They were the kings of England. The Beatles hadn't even released a single yet. Gas was basically free. Since that league title, Spurs have watched every other Big Six rival build empires, while they've been busy perfecting the art of almost. It's like the club made a deal with a Crossroads demon in 1961. Give us the double now, and we'll spend the next 60 plus years paying for it in irony. We are now closer to the year 2090 than we are to the last time Tottenham won the first division. Let that sink in. But if you think a 60-year league drought is bad, wait until you hear about the time a literal plate of pasta took down the entire starting 11. Seriously, keep watching, because Lasagna-gate is where the curse officially went from bad luck to supernatural sabotage. Fact 2. Lasagna-gate, the great Italian job. It's May 2006, the final day of the season. Spurs just need to match Arsenal's result to clinch Champions League football for the first time. It's all set. The champagne is on ice. The fans are ready. And then, the lasagna happened. The night before the game at West Ham, the team ate at their hotel. By 3 a.m., half the squad was sprinting to the bathroom like they were competing in the Olympic hurdles. We're talking Michael Carrick, Robbie Keane, Edgar Davids, the heavy hitters, all victimized by a dodgy batch of pasta. They begged the Premier League to postpone the game. The league said, nah, play on. Spurs lost, Arsenal won, and the Champions League spot vanished into the North London air like a puff of smoke. If that isn't a curse, it's the most specific assassination attempt in culinary history. Who was the chef? We still don't know, but I'm betting he had a gunner's tattoo under his apron. You'd think after getting poisoned by pasta, things couldn't get weirder. But the curse doesn't just attack the players' stomachs, it attacks their trophy cabinet. Even when they win a trophy, the universe finds a way to make it the most awkward victory in human history. Fact 3. The 2008 League Cup glory. 2008, the last time a Spurs captain actually lifted a piece of silver that wasn't a Best Grounds Team award. They beat Chelsea at Wembley. Jonathan Woodgate, a man whose hamstrings were held together by scotch tape and prayers, scored the winner with his face. The curse here isn't that they won, it's what happened next. That trophy was supposed to be the dawn of a new era. Instead, it became a tombstone. For 17 years, that League Cup stood alone in the cabinet, gathering so much dust it started its own ecosystem. Spurs became the only club in the world that could employ world-class talent, like Gareth Bale, Luka Modric, and Harry Kane, and still have as many trophies in the 2000s as your local Sunday League side. But having no trophies is one thing. Being told you're cursed by the greatest players in the world while they're on your team is another level of psychological warfare. Let's talk about the man who broke every goal-scoring record but couldn't break the Tottenham hex. Fact 4. The Harry Kane paradox. Imagine being the greatest striker your country has ever produced. Imagine scoring 213 Premier League goals. Now imagine having the same number of winners' medals as the guy who cleans the boots at Manchester City. Harry Kane is the human embodiment of the Tottenham curse. He didn't just play for Spurs. He tried to carry them on his back across a desert of mediocrity. Every time he got close, Champions League final 2019, League Cup finals, title races, the curse would trip him at the finish line. It got so bad that even when he moved to Bayern Munich, a team that wins the Bundesliga by default every year. They immediately lost the league to Leverkusen for the first time in a decade. The curse isn't just at White Hart Lane, it's contagious. It's a portable black hole. Fact 5: the managerial graveyard, the special one tax. When your car keeps breaking down, you eventually stop blaming the spark plugs and hire a world class mechanic. Tottenham did exactly that. They hired Jose Mourinho, then they hired Antonio Conte. Combined, these two men have more trophies than most European countries. They are winners by profession and villains by choice. And yet, the Tottenham Curse chewed them up and spat them out like a bad piece of gum. Mourinho, a man who once won the Champions League with Porto, for crying out loud, was sacked 6 days before a cup final. 6 days. That's like firing your pilot while the plane is on the runway because you don't like his tie. Then came Conte, who went on a legendary rant calling the players selfish and the club's history the story of Tottenham. He didn't just leave, he scorched the earth so badly that grass stopped growing in North London for 3 weeks. It's one thing to have your managers lose their minds, but it's another thing to spend £1 billion on a brand new house, only to realize the ghost from the old house moved in with you. Let's talk about the new stadium syndrome. Fact 6: the £1 billion curse extension. In 2019, Spurs opened the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's a masterpiece. It has a retractable pitch, its own microbrewery, and a goal line that I'm fairly certain is haunted. It was supposed to be the game changer that catapulted them into the stratosphere of Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. Instead, it just became a more expensive place to watch a 2-0 lead turn into a 3-2 loss. It's a Ferrari engine inside a unicycle. They have the most advanced stadium in the world, yet they still find ways to lose to teams whose entire transfer budget is the price of a pint at the Spurs bar. The curse didn't get left behind at White Hart Lane. It just upgraded to a luxury suite with high-speed Wi-Fi and better acoustics for the fans booing. But hey, at least they're in the Big Six, right? Well, that title comes with a very specific type of pain. The kind that involves your biggest rival winning the league at your place while you're busy checking the expected goals stats. Fact 7: the Battle of the Bridge and the Leicester fairy tale. The 2015 to 2016 season was the ultimate Spurs litmus test. Chelsea was terrible, United was lost, and Arsenal was being Arsenal. The path was clear. All Tottenham had to do was beat a 5,000 to 1 underdog named Leicester City. Instead, they gave us the Battle of the Bridge. In a must-win game against Chelsea, Spurs lost their cool, lost the lead, and broke a Premier League record for most yellow cards in a single match. They were so busy trying to kick Eden Hazard into the next dimension that they forgot to actually play football. They finished third in a 2-horse race. Only Tottenham could find a way to let a team nicknamed the Foxes steal their lunch and then get overtaken by Arsenal on the final day just for the comedic value. If you think finishing third in a 2-horse race is peak Spurs, you haven't seen what happens when they actually reach a European final. Spoiler alert, it involves a handball that happened before most people had even sat down with their popcorn. Fact 8: the 2019 Champions League final. The 24-second disaster. The run to the 2019 final was a miracle. Lucas Moura in Amsterdam, the VAR drama against Man City. It felt like the curse was finally lifting. Fans were flying to Madrid, thinking, this is it, destiny. Destiny lasted exactly 24 seconds. That's how long it took for Moussa Sissoko to point at a teammate and have the ball hit his arm. Penalty. Liverpool 1-0. The game was essentially over before the sweat had even formed on the players' brows. It was the most Spurs way to lose a final imaginable. Not through a lack of skill, but through a freak accident that felt like the universe personally pressing the pause button on their joy. We've looked at the finals, the managers, and the pasta, but there is one final piece of the puzzle. A phenomenon so consistent, it should be studied by NASA. It's the ex-player glow-up, and it proves the curse is personal. Fact 9: the I left Spurs and now I'm successful club. If you want to win a trophy, the fastest way to do it isn't to train harder, it's to leave Tottenham. The list of players who left Spurs and immediately started drowning in medals is actually hilarious. Luka Modric left and won 5 Champions Leagues. Gareth Bale left and won everything except a professional golf tournament. Kyle Walker left and has more Premier League titles than he has fingers. Even Tanguy Ndombele, a man who seemed to find running an optional part of his job description, went to Napoli on loan and won Serie A. It's like Tottenham. It's a spiritual training camp where you must suffer for years to earn the right to be happy somewhere else. So where does this leave us? Is there a cure? Or are we destined to watch this cycle repeat until the sun burns out? Let's wrap this up with the one thing every Spurs fan needs to hear, even if it hurts. The beautiful tragedy. The Tottenham Curse isn't a witch's spell or a bad batch of lasagna. It's the price of admission for being a club that refuses to be boring. Being Spursy is a badge of honor in a weird, masochistic way. It means you're always relevant, always dramatic, and always somehow capable of the impossible, even if the impossible is losing to Mura in the Conference League. Spurs are the main character of the Premier League. Maybe the curse isn't there to stop them from winning. Maybe it's there to make sure we never stop talking about them. Because at the end of the day, we'd all rather watch a chaotic 4-4 draw than a boring 1-0 win, right? Right, Spurs fans, please put down the pitchforks. If you've ever felt personally victimized by a 90-minute equalizer, hit that like button and subscribe to join our support group. Comment below. Is the curse real, or do Spurs just need to stop passing the ball to the other team? Stay bold, stay witty, and for the love of everything holy, stay away from the lasagna. See you in the next one.